What's going on, everybody? So, as you can see, I just got done watching one of my the newest movie in one of my favorite movie franchises from Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cops 4, or as is known, Beverly Hills Cops Axel Foley. I would have preferred Beverly Hills Cop 4 just to keep with the fact that every Beverly Hills Cop was just Beverly Hills Cop 1, just Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 3. So I would have preferred just being called 4. But hey, um, I kind of get why they call it Axel Foley because he kept saying his name so much in this movie at one point, like to I guess like when he was trying to bond with his daughter. But so Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley picks up. I want to say it's basically like in real time, like uh, basically some decades. Like I think it's been like 30 something years. I want to say. Yeah, it has to be because his daughter is like 32. So the events of this movie, it has to be like 30 something years later. Um, they just like they did with coming to America, they actually use the time that has passed in real life. Um, because yeah, if I'm correct, I think I was 4 years old when the first Betty Hill Cop movie came out. Not the first, but the third movie. I think. I think. 'Cause I don't think I was born when Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 came out, if I'm correct. Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop 1 came out in 84, then 2 was 87, and then I was finally born when they did part 3, which is 1994. I was 4 years old. I just turned 4 years old of the previous month. Yes, I am an Aries. Um, so yeah, the movie is pretty much they pretty much go with the time that has passed, and that uh this is like decades later, and oh, they making a fifth one. Oh, that's cool. They make it a fifth one. I'm glad to hear it. But yeah, so we pick up where we find out that nothing has pretty much changed for our guy here, Axel Foley. He's in Detroit. He's causing mayhem. It's actually funny that it's like just like he's been kicked off a case, so he used another cop to solve the case so that he don't let the bad guys get away. Um, his old partner from the first two movies that was his partner in Detroit is now the police chief. If you don't know, the original chief I think was killed in part 3. Yeah, the original chief died in part 3. There's actually a picture of him in the office in this movie. Uh, the movie itself then it goes into the basic premise of this movie is that after it's basically after he gets done with this, he gets a call from Billy because Billy is on the case. Billy is on the case and he pretty much needs actual help because he got his daughter involved, who is named Jane. And Jane is basically like his estranged daughter, which is just one of maybe like I guess you could say one or two things I find I got an actual problem with. But like yeah, it's his daughter is the estranged daughter. We found out that he's basically he had a kid with old girl from part 3, and they had after a certain period of time, I guess he moved them out to LA and for their protection or whatever. I mean, it's coming from Axel, so it could be complete BS. But for some unknown reason, they went from Detroit I guess they it was basically told that they lived in Detroit for a minute, but then they went back to L.A. and that him and old girl got a divorce. Um, but she's like a defense attorney, and she's like the type of attorney that most cops hate because she defends the criminals and stuff like that. And basically, this case involves a man who's been accused of killing a cop, an undercover cop. But there's more than meets the eye, of course, because this is Beverly Hills Cops, which means it's not all that cut and dry. And his daughter and Billy are neck deep into it. And once they get a little bit too deep and got a little bit too dangerous, Billy calls Axel, and Axel comes out to Beverly Hills to not only for the safety of his daughter, but to help Billy too, as Billy has gone missing. As we see in the trailers, Taggart, Billy, Serge, Serge is in there. They even bring back some classic lines with Serge. I like that. Uh, we get the reunion of the the Beverly Hill Cop characters from the past three movies. But I do like how they try to they change Billy and Taggart's dynamic. They kind of at odds with each other because Taggart got a blind spot for Kevin Bacon's character, and I forgot what his Kevin Bacon's character name was in this movie. Let me go back just real quick and look that up. Kevin Bacon. His name, Kevin Bacon's character in this movie is Captain K. Grant, and I remember his last name was Grant, but I just couldn't remember his first name. But they often called about his last name when it was Grant. But yeah, so in this movie, man, I don't want to tell you who the bad guy is, but I guess you would have to know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say it. I'm not going to tell you. But one of the main cast members is the bad guy, and whatever case his daughter Jane got involved with, it is a lot bigger than you think. And I will say I like my boy. I want to see if I can find him. No, that's not him. No, that's Serge. Where's that guy? Yeah, his name is Luis Guzman. I think that's how you say his last name. He was funny for the brief part that he had in this movie. He was funny. I like that my boy Mark Pellegrino. Mark Pellegrino. I can't say his last name, but if you watch Supernatural, he's the guy who played Lucifer in Supernatural. He played Lucifer's human host and Lucifer himself. He actually had a significant role in this movie, and I like that. And the reason why I like it is because he kind of made reference to it in Supernatural, where he said he was making reference to the soul Lucifer, but he did end up being in Hollywood doing something. He did do that, but I get off track. So the movie itself goes on this big adventure trying to solve this case and the connection to Jane's client and what's really going on. The acting was great. The visuals was great. It is heavy on nostalgia. It feels just like it feels like a mixture of Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. As you can see, even the poster is a mixture of Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. When compared to 3, this movie is way better than 3. Like if we were to and I'm a fan. I love part 3. I think part 3 is actually not, to me, in the series, is not a bad movie. It just I like this one just a little bit. I say way better, but now that I think about it, it's like this was part 4 and 3. Part 4 would be just a little bit higher, not like a way higher up here. It's just only about this much better than part 3. But I love part 3. I know part 3 gets a lot of flack, but then again, so did Scream 3. Scream 3 wasn't the best Scream, but to me, it was one. It was one of like a lot of people said Scream 3 wasn't good, but I like Scream 3, and just as how I feel about this one. I like, even though part 3 was people didn't really like it. I like this one. I like part 3, and I like this too, because I've been seeing some of the reviews. And some people don't like it, some people do. I'm one of the people who do like it. I mean, but the things I will say about it, I didn't like the cliche the estranged father son type storyline. It didn't fit. It felt like that was the only way to fit like a child of his, or they didn't even bring her back to be the mother. Like she wasn't even in this movie, but they brought the daughter in. It was like it felt like it was already we already seen that done that with what Die Hard. Two Die Hards. First one was the estranged son, and the other one was the estranged daughter. Um, so we've seen this type of trope before in movies. So that was like my one. That was my first negative. The other negative is that for all intents and purposes, this is a big movie. This is not like this is where I'm trying to get at. This is my other negative is the fact that this is a big franchise movie. This is the fourth movie in the Beverly Hills Cop series, and it was on Netflix. This should have definitely been in theaters. Like this should have been a movie you had to go to theaters to see, and for it to be on Netflix, I kind of felt off with it. Like I felt like it did. Like it was that. But other than that, like the character, I'm not the character of Jane. I'm not gonna say I didn't like. I just didn't really care for her as much because of the way how they structure her character in the movie, because everything about her was cliche. Even the cliche, oh, now they relationship is better in the end, and the cliche, oh, I didn't like the things that my daddy taught me, but then I remember I'm a Foley, so now I use the things he taught me at the end, and the things I said to my dad about the things I didn't like that he taught me, I actually still remember and did type cliche. So that was like my biggest thing. The biggest thing that I did not like about this movie was that. What was that? Was the how her part was basically cliche. Um, Joseph Hewitt. I'm gonna touch on him for a minute. He was Detective Bobby Abbott. Joseph Gordon. I said Hewitt. It's Joseph Gordon Lewitt. Lewitt. He basically, like I said, he was Detective Bobby Abbott. He played. He's basically was like Axel's partner when he would get to Beverly Hills, and ironically, somehow, some way, he was. It wasn't like I saw it coming, but he was basically like the ex-boyfriend of the daughter who did not know that the daughter was Axel Foley's daughter. Like they had that whole cliche scene when he found out that she was the daughter of Axel Foley. And it was basically like nobody knew except for the police force. Everybody in the police force knew that Jane was Foley's daughter except for Detective Abbott. But yeah, Billy was great. Eddie Murphy was great as Axel Foley. Taggart, I love Taggart. I love how he came around towards the end. I love the ending sequence was cool. It was just like the cliche. I'm I'm now okay with trying to be your daughter again, and the bonding, the whole healing. It's tired out not seeing it. When you've been live as long as I have and seen so many movies that use that cliche. You get tired of seeing that for a while. You know the tropes. Um, but yeah, other than those were just the two things I did not like. Everything else I kind of like. I like under. I said kind of. Everything else I did like. I mean, the movie. I'm a hardcore fan of the Beverly Hills Cop. I actually, you know what? I actually want to go watch all three movies and then watch this movie again, just in unison, just because that's how much I love the franchise. I love Beverly Hills Cop. I could watch Beverly Hills Cop all day. I could have a marathon of that. And I have done it before, FYI. I think I have literally watched for the whole. I got up in the morning and watched. I have the whole Fast and the Furious series, and I watched them in chronological order by story. Meaning, I didn't watch part 3 until before part 6, or however that goes. Um, but yeah, I'm not the type of person I would do that. I would have like a movie marathon and just watch every film in the franchise if it's a good franchise. Um, No, but yeah, this movie was good. I liked it. I just had two things. Like it was hard pressed to find. Uh, oh, we do have a Happy Gilmore cameo in here. You'll know when you see it. But other than that, I'm gonna give this a 8.5 out of 10. It would have got a 9, but because of those two things, and the fact that I enjoy this movie so much that I can't give it like a straight 8 because it was supposed to be. It was originally like as I was watching it, it went from a 10 to a 9. Then it went to a 9 to an 8, but then it went back up to 8.5. But then that's where it stayed at for me. So yeah, this was a definitely 8.5 movie. I would say if you're a fan of this movie, if you're a fan of this movie, if you're a fan of this franchise, you will like this movie. And from when I see them people who like this movie, all agree that it was better than Part 3. But the way how I say I too agree that it's better than Part 3, but it's not like Part 3. I'm not saying that as Part 3 was horrible because to me, every movie in the franchise is good. It just Part 3 story or Part 4. This movie had the more feel of Part 1 and 2. So that's why this was better in my opinion than Part 3. But yeah, that's it. You let me know in the comments down below what you thought. And if you enjoy my review, you know what to do. You hit this button right here for all of my movie reviews and TV show reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much, you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and because we try to reach the 10,000 subscribers. And as always, hitting one of these videos for more of my amazing content. The review for The Boys next episode will be coming up soon. I don't know if it will be coming up later on today because I got a lot to do because it's the 4th. But I'm gonna try to get that out to y'all before the end, either the end of the 4th or before or Friday, sometime Friday. So peace.